Now, Trump says we should never sell our Bitcoin. RFK Jr. says that we should buy 4 million Bitcoin. But in this video, I'm going to explain why XRP is a better asset for the United States to add as a strategic reserve than Bitcoin is. Now, very simply put, XRP is a better Bitcoin. You have the same decentralization, finite supply, but it's cheaper, faster, and more scalable. We can actually get something done with this ledger. Now, speaking of efficiencies, we have a more energy efficient network than Visa and MasterCard with the XRP ledger. And it doesn't involve any of the mining that Bitcoin does. So there's no proof of work, no mining, and no wasted energy going towards validating this network. Although I respect President Trump wanting to make America have the cheapest energy in the world, that's fantastic, I support that. But why waste it on an inefficient, expensive ledger if it's not necessary? With XRPL, there's no mining, period. Now, another advantage of the XRP ledger is the decentralized exchange that's built into it. So think of all the assets that are about to get tokenized, from real estate, debt, bonds. We're about to talk about stablecoins. All of that's getting tokenized and put on the XRP ledger where it can freely be traded through the decentralized exchange, which brings me to tokenized assets like stablecoins. Now, in President Trump's speech, he acknowledged that stablecoins are the key to expanding US dollar dominance, and I couldn't agree further. We need stablecoin legislation, and we need to start partnering up with companies like Ripple that are set to issue stablecoins on the XRP ledger and help expand US dollar dominance around the world. We want to keep the reserve currency status, right? Ripple is a strategic partner. XRP is the strategic asset. Which brings me to the final point, which is Ripple's escrow. If you're looking to get a large amount of XRP, we can sit down at the table with Ripple. They will be able to structure a deal where the US Treasury can acquire a large sum of XRP, which will give the United States a competitive advantage. Not only will we be expanding US dollar dominance through the stablecoin, but having a strategic reserve supply of XRP will give us an unfair advantage when we're competing with nations around the world who are trying to buy up this XRP from escrow. We know that there's been thousands of contracts and deals with institutions that Ripple's done to get XRP. So now is the time for the United States government to make a move, if they haven't already, to get some XRP from Ripple's escrow. This is a great deal to be done here where Ripple can help the United States get caught up to speed in cryptocurrency regulations, adoption, and we can also see how the XRP ledger has unique advantages compared to the Bitcoin ledger, which is expensive, slow, breaks and goes down all the time, whereas the XRP ledger has had no downtime in over 10 years, flawless ledger with more utilities being added, and the advantage that the United States government would have being able to acquire a large percentage of the total XRP supply that could be held on their balance sheet as a reserve. So should